Welcome back to another episode with Mystic Scales and Fairy
And
Tales
Faye Tales
podcast.
podcast.
I'm Jennifer,
And I'm Lee. Hi,
and
everyone.
we are a fantasy and dystopian podcast. If you've never listened to us before, welcome, welcome. If you have, welcome back. Today's a very happy day because we started a new series um with just a few, like just me, Lee, and a few other friends, like a smaller group rather than a big book club.
Hmm.
And I always love getting into a new series. Lee, on the other hand, is very impatient and does not love getting into a new series.
Yeah.
But I think she liked it so far, so we're gonna dive deep into a very popular series that you may or may not have heard of called Red Rising by Pierce Brown.
Dun dun dun. Because you're like introducing us and you're like, we're fantasy and dystopian, and like this is like a dystopian.
No, we haven't done dystopian in a hot minute. We were like, this podcast will
No.
be fantasy dystopian, and like the most dystopian we've done on the podcast so far was The Hunger Games. But we've
But
read
like
dystopian outside of it. We just haven't reviewed it on here.
that okay, yeah, that's fair. I was gonna be mean and be like, there's not that much good dystopian
There
out
is.
there
We just haven't
right
read a lot
now.
in a while. Yeah. There is. We just
But
haven't read a lot.
sure. But anyways,
I've seen a lot of
um,
ads for a lot of good ones, and I've seen a lot of like blog posts about them, and we just haven't. I mean, that's how I ended
okay.
up reading Blood Over Bright Haven, and it was like the best book I've ever read, and that was a oh, I guess I don't know if you would classify it as a dystopia. Maybe it was just sci-fi. Yeah.
Well, see, and that's like interesting too because this one, like, I don't really think of it as sci-fi, but like it does take place on Mars.
I think
So
it's
I
fully
guess
sci-fi. I don't really know if you even classify this as fantasy to begin with.
oh no, I just mean like dystopian.
Oh,
I wouldn't call it fantasy, no. Um, you know what this I think I asked you this. You didn't watch Agents of Shield, right?
no, sadly not.
This like right from the start, I was like, this is like one season. It's a season of Agents of Shield where they introduce, I think his name is Zeke. Um, and it's just like a dystopian society in space. But I love this book for that because like it felt familiar and um I don't know, I enjoyed that. But anyways, where to begin?
So this is Red Rising by Pierce Brown. It's the first male author we read in quite a minute. I almost said it was the first male author we ever read. That would have been so insane. No, we've read male authors. It's the first one we've read in a while, I would
A
say.
while. Yeah.
Um, which was
And
kind of was nice. It wasn't here or there for me.
I have some comments. But
Okay, great. Never mind, never mind.
but he's like a standout, right? Like he's really
Well, this
made a
series
name for
is.
himself. Yeah, yeah. So,
'Cause there's
I think
four in the series, right? Or five?
I think five, the fifth is coming, I think.
No, there's five right now. Yeah, Red Rising, Golden Sun, Morning Star, Iron Gold, and Dark Age.
Oh
Uh,
no, wait, what is Lightbringer?
yeah, this was 2014, this book. They classified as government-resistant fiction, dystopias, and science fiction.
Which I guess makes sense. Hunger Games, Ender's Game. Yeah, those are good
Oh, well,
comps.
you should see the cover. It says, Ender, Katniss, and now Darrow. That's the quote on the front. And then the back is a story of vengeance, warfare, and quest for power, reminiscent of the Hunger Games and Game of Thrones. Kirkus reviews. Wait, it keeps going. A very ambitious, a natural for Hunger Games fans of all ages. So three Hunger Game references on the cover alone. That's insane. Like, okay, I get it. I
Yeah.
get it. You harped it down a little
y-
too much.
Yeah. Um, did I immediately recommend it to like three people as I started it? Yes.
Okay, so you're right. There is six books in the series. Not sure why their printing of this book is not updated, but whatever. I mean, also, when did I buy this book? No, I bought it past that. Okay. Book seven has not come out. Well, on Fable it said it came out. So I don't know if
Right.
Fable's lying to us
I mean, it doesn't have a
or
photo. This is
hmm.
so easily solved for all of our listeners. You probably already know the answer, but here
We
we
just
are.
Googled it.
Yeah. Apparently, I say that a lot at work too. I'll be like, let's just Google it. And they're like, do you secretly work for Google or something?
Okay, it's supposed to
No.
be coming summer 2026. So it has not
Okay,
come out
so
yet. Okay, so Red Rising by Pierce Brown started in 2014. Here is the back of book ad. I live for the dream that my children will be born free, she says, that they will be what they like, that they will own the land their father gave them. I live for you, I say sadly. Io kisses my cheek, then you must live for more. Darrow is a red, a member of the lowest caste in the color-coded society of the future. Like his fellow Reds, he works all day, believing that he and his people are making the surface of Mars livable for future generations. Yet he spends his life willingly, knowing that his blood and sweat will one day result in a better world for his children. But Darrow and his kind have been betrayed. Soon he discovers that humanity already reached the surface generations ago. That's wow, I didn't realize they put the twist in the
I
ad.
mean, yeah, but you knew it was coming.
I didn't expect it.
Oh, I
Um, okay, vast cities and sprawling parks spread across the planet. Darrow and Reds like him are nothing more than slaves to a decadent ruling class. Inspired by a longing for justice and driven by the memory of lost love, Darrow sacrifices everything to infiltrate the legendary Institute, a proving ground for the dominant gold caste, where the next generation of humanity's overlords struggle for power. He'll be forced to compete for his life and the very force of civilization against the best and most brutal of society's ruling class. There, he will stop at nothing to bring down his enemies, even if it means he has to become one of them to do so. Dun, dun, dun!
truly
And that's
become
her
one of
review.
them.
Truly. Okay, wow. Should we just start with our overall rating before we jump in?
Sure,
So what was your reading as I pull up my own? I think I shared it in the group, so it's easier for me.
you did. I didn't have enough time to like formulate my thoughts. But I needed to mark it as finished to keep my streak going. So I gave it 4 stars. But you
I gave
gave
it
it,
4.5.
yeah, and you had like quite a lot to say.
Yes, I did. I knew going into the series I was going to fall in love with it. I heard about this for quite some time and always thought it was up my alley. I first tried reading this book with a regular audiobook, and unfortunately the reader was not doing it for me. Yeah, it was like a old
My old
Irish.
man.
Yeah, I mean like it was great for the setting, and they ended up using those accents in the audio, which is great.
Hmm.
But I think like for me with certain accents they kind of like made me fall asleep, and that's good. It means they're soothing voices, but not for a book like this. Um.
No.
So then I ended up going into the graphic audio. And I also bought the physical copy. So once I said, however, once my friend started reading, I started with the graphic audio, and wow, that was a game changer for me. This cast is outstanding. My emotions were pulled everywhere, and that is not just from the writing. I couldn't recommend this method of reading more, which is so true. The graphic audio, like I think we've said this a million times, it really does change a book. It could bring
Hmm.
the book to life even more, and I think I would have liked it if I read the physical, like fine. But like being able to hear Eo's voice and Eo singing
Mm.
and the betrayal and also like the switching between Darrow's accents and his
Mm.
language and the different
Hmm.
people, it just was so
That
it made
was,
the book really, really impactful.
yeah, that one definitely made a difference. There's some gruesome things though that I wanted to like not hear. Um,
True.
especially I was like driving and I was like, oh no, I can't like fast forward. I just have to like suffer.
With Darrow. You have to suffer with Darrow. I
Yeah,
wish I could
yeah.
say their accents because they had some really good accents. It's not Darrow, it's like Darrow or something like deep and
Yeah, yeah,
Darrow. I
he's
don't even know.
yeah, they were definitely
Um,
Irish.
Right off the bat, I was very impressed with the way this author set the world and the conflict up. I knew instantly this was something I was strapping in.
Mhm.
I knew instantly this was something I was strapping in for a long journey. There was no way this power of a dynamic of a world would be solved in one book. See? And as a reader,
Well,
that excited
yes.
me. It was believable, and I was ready to start the journey with Darrow. The plot kept me on my feet the entire time. I only predicted a few twists, and even then, it was still a fast, satisfying story for me. The story has the readers questioning about what drives someone in power. Is a thing that drives you worth it? Will there ever be a way to dismantle all power dynamics? I appreciate the vast reaching characters and they all represented different moral dilemmas, which in
Mm.
turn challenged Darrow with his own motives and path forward. Throw in a
Hmm.
brutal environment and that is focused on flight or fight, and you get an absolutely guttural story. I use the word guttural. That's how much you know I liked it. Um, I will definitely pick up book two, and I am praying this becomes a movie. Yeah, I really did like this book.
I mean, tell us more.
Spoilers ahead though. Like if you're already at this point, just like want to give you a spoiler warning just in case you haven't. So
Mhm.
we land into the world of Red Rising, Lee. What was your initial thoughts going into this? Or from the beginning, we start the book with Darrow and
Hmm.
in his job, his Helldiver
Helldiver.
job, and then we get to
Yeah.
learn more about the world.
Um, well, I was a little skeptical, I'm not gonna lie. I had some reservations, and I think it circles around it being a male author. Um, and I think in the beginning there was a little bit that I was like, he's being, number one, he's being very repetitive. And anytime he like mentioned like a woman, I was like just hyper focused on like how he was gonna describe her and like what her situation was gonna be. So
Interesting.
I was pretty critical and like pretty hard to please at first. But like I said, like I immediately recommended it to people, so I was obviously like intrigued by the idea of everything. And I liked that like pretty much right off the bat, we've got this idea of the laurel, this like prize that they're all hoping to get, because they're essentially slaves, and they think that they've got it. And I knew I was like, they don't got it. Like
Yeah, you know they don't get it.
there's
Yeah.
something that's gonna happen, and like I didn't know how, but you know that they're they're the type of people, they're a class of people that they're just not gonna have. They're the District 12, like.
Hmm.
So I think that was a good setup. And Darrow is very interesting to me because he really is, and like they kind of harp on this, but like he's fueled by rage, right?
Hmm.
And he is very like impulsive. And it was that was like different, right? But what bothered me was all of a sudden he was super smart. And
He was
it
always
didn't,
smart.
was
He's
he
a hell
though?
diver. Yeah, they very much talked about the skill of being a hell diver and what it takes to get there.
Eh, skill and smart. There were things that didn't add up for me.
Interesting.
Um, and I think part of that could have been fixed by the POV.
Hmm.
So I think there were some things like when we get into the institute and we get into like all of the craziness that happens, where he just like knew things that I think it was hard to believe from a first person perspective. Like I think if it
Okay.
had been like third person or kind of omniscient, I would have been more willing to accept that.
Okay.
So I had a little bit of a hard time marrying this like rage monster with this super cunning person sometimes.
Hmm.
So
But I think that's
those
what he
are my
battles throughout the entire book, though. Like he battles not just falling into the rage monster. He has a lot of those instances, especially with the killing the other
yeah.
red by chance. So
Yeah.
like there's so many times that he does fall into it. Yeah, it's hard to tell. I mean, I think what's interesting I had to keep reminding myself was that Daryl was a teenager. I
Mm.
think that's also what I struggled with when I first did the regular audiobook, and then even with this graphic audio, the reader Um, and and Darrow in general, I think like I know they had to like grow up young because they're already working, whatever, but like I don't know, it just I had to keep reminding myself that Darrow wasn't like in his mid-20s. Like I was like,
Hmm.
oh, I think he's like 16 or 17. And I was like, oh shit.
Yeah,
Like
but
he's still younger.
in relation to their like timeline, he kind of is the equivalent
That's
because
true.
like
You're right. You're right.
I had to laugh because at one point he said, I think his uncle, he says he's, old as hell. He's 40 years old. Like, and I was
Yeah,
just
you're right. You're
like,
right. Because if they're
okay.
dying younger, then it's different. Like then that
But
is the age.
yeah, but no, I understand that like we're placed in this world where they're getting married at like 13, and that's
Yeah.
not weird or anything.
Which I think does work
Uh,
in the favor of the book later on too, because I guess I take that back too, because it's like when he's with the Golds and he's seeing how like I mean A, how immature they are because they've been like pampered their entire lives, but like them being a similar age, like some of them are have a different mentality than he ever would. Like he's
mhm,
definitely far ahead of them in that.
mhm,
Um, yeah, I don't know. I don't know if I didn't really get the vibe that I didn't believe he wasn't that smart. I did believe he was that
mm,
smart because I think it was the setup of like people believing in him and his like his uncle believing him and his EO seeing more in him, like all of them seeing this in him that he could be more
mm,
and live for more. Um that I wasn't I mean like there was a little bit of a speed up, I think, with the like training and like okay, he learns everything and
mhm,
he like has to absorb it and he gets it right away. Yeah, like that's
mhm,
but like I guess the author can band-aid over that by saying like well, he has this really big motivation, and his motivation makes him his like keen sight and key like intelligence, so he's gonna pick up everything he can. So yeah, and there was some things I think that were like more tell than show throughout, but there was a lot
mm,
of things that I appreciated that weren't show because then when we got to like the like revelations of things. It's like, oh my God, that's what he was thinking. Like not being able to like fully see his plans and then see them happen, and you're like, okay, he was thinking that all along. I kind of liked that, if that makes sense.
mm. Okay. I thought the treatment of time was a little difficult too. Uh,
Like
'Cause
with
I think
when we're in the trial itself or the whole book.
so like initially I think in the trial because by the end years have gone by and it's just kind
Really?
of like
I thought it was a
yeah,
year.
I think it's 2 years.
Oh my God, I'm gonna look that up. That's crazy.
But even so, like a whole year, yeah, like time has gone by. Um, but then like thinking like right now, his like I felt like his time becoming a gold was is very much like the Hercules, montage. Like it felt pretty quick. So I don't know if I love that
So it
like
was 18
handling.
months.
So yeah, that's a long time.
It's a long time. I mean, yeah, they go through the seasons. They go through a whole entire winter.
Yeah. Yeah. And like he talks about months and weeks and whatever.
Yeah, and I wondered if that
Because
montage was sped up because he needed to get to this part of the book.
I mean probably. Uh I also found like some of it got a little boring. It got a little
Really?
I thought it got a
I
little
did not feel that at
formulaic.
all. I did not feel that at all. Oh my God. I felt like I was
Oh,
like being twisted and turned everywhere. Like I'm like I can't remember like everything that happened. Like it was so much.
I mean, it was a lot, but it was always like, okay, we go to this castle and we're gonna ambush them. And then, haha, I'm so smart. Or like, haha, I've got Sebro hiding over here. And
Several.
then, I love Sebro. Um, so yeah, like, and there was I felt like there was a long time where we were like, okay, we gotta get to the Jackal. We gotta get to the Jackal. We gotta get to Pluto. And like this and this and this. And I was like, okay. Um, And I think maybe part of that was because like it was winter, so he was like the author was really dragging it out because you're feeling the uh seasons and everything.
Yeah, which I
But
had
I
to.
yeah, but I will say like when we got to the Jackal, like I thought that was great. Um there were some good twists at the end. How did you, this is kind of a side quest here, but how did you feel about Finchner And were you like, hey, Plutarch? Or was that just me?
I love how we're also jumping around the entire book right now. We're not even like going through the book in order. Um,
Because we haven't talked about it.
I mean, I think at first I really wasn't paying that much mind to him, I'm being completely honest with you. And then as it got like he came up more and more, I'm like, okay, so like this is like the author obviously wants this to be relevant.
Mm.
But yeah, I mean, I don't know. Like, do you why you're thinking that he stands on a side that isn't supporting the golds and possibly seeing the other side of things? Or I mean, I took him originally as just someone who just like a drunk. Like he also
Oh.
wasn't like he likes the power he
Mm.
has, but he's not going to try to get more, I guess.
Mm.
Um, but then I guess him being Sephiroth's father did change a lot in that
Mm-hmm.
aspect. And obviously his like care for his son and care for Sephiroth, and Sephiroth hasn't been taken serious so I ended the gold because of his size and things. Um,
Mm-hmm.
so yeah, I mean I guess I could see him as someone who could be helpful to the rebellion in that, but I guess I wasn't like, has he always been working both sides? I didn't get that vibe right away. Did you?
But like, not necessarily, but the way that he was helping Darrow and like I kind of felt like there was like you kept waiting for the shoe to drop. Like Darrow does say bloody damn eventually, and
Hmm.
Severo picks up on it. But I kept waiting for like Finchner to say something. But instead he was more just kind of like a watching his back kind of thing and giving him hints. I just like I'm not saying he's like Plutarch like exactly
Hmm.
like I don't know maybe like he didn't start off that way but maybe he's gonna become a
Becomes it.
resource.
Because
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if Fitchner does know who he is all along. Like that also wouldn't
Yeah.
surprise me.
Yeah.
He
I
does seem
wouldn't
like
be
he has more to
surprised
the eye
either.
in that, but I don't know if he's like actively working in that. It might be something where like he feels like a man that has the power he has and he's not taking it serious to go more up in the power. So like he's stuck in the place that he is. But I don't know if he's looking to I don't know yet. I don't know if he's looking to dismantle the power or he's looking for someone else to do it. Like I don't know if that's where he stands at that, I
Yeah.
guess.
Yeah.
So it'll be interesting
Um
to see his character going forward. And I do liked his relationship with Darrow in terms of
mhm.
like Darrow locked him up. Like Darrow never like killed him. He was just like
Mhm.
he used him the way they used each other essentially.
Yeah. Yeah.
Which
For
is the
sure.
Plutarch of it all. You're right.
Yeah. And I think that what make it like keeps Darrow like true to himself in a way, true to his like rage. Because he's still gonna beat him up, even if like ultimately it's like for a good reason, you know?
Yeah.
Um,
Let's bring it back to the beginning though with
that's what I was gonna say.
I know we haven't even talked about freaking EO, man. That
Yeah.
broke my heart. And I will say, I didn't know going into this that the girl he loved died. I also
Mm.
knew something else, which I don't know if that's true for this story or not, so I'm not gonna say it. And it might have to do with the secret that she said that we never found out about.
Oh, to her
Oh,
sister?
her sister. So like I think I know that
Mm.
spoiler, but I don't know if I do. But anyway, so I knew about Io dying, and I also got that far the first time I read, and the first time I read, I stopped when he discovered that Mars was already inhabited. Like when they first goes up that elevator and
Mm.
they see everything. That's where I stopped.
Hmm.
Which I was like, what a way to stop the book.
Yeah, why did you
Um,
stop?
I don't know. I told you I didn't like the reader. But yeah, oh my God, EO, man. All the fan art of EO too, it just breaks my heart. It's
Mm.
so beautiful the way people have painted her. Like, she's the martyr, or she tried to be the martyr. So, what did you think of her, I guess?
I have a lot of feelings. Mm. I thought Io was really smart. Um, I liked what she did. I liked what she said. I I hoped for Darrow to do more in the beginning. Like I thought her like immediate actions were going to be a little more of a catalyst for him. I kind of had a I was like, "Oh, maybe he's going to be like the martyr like not the martyr. He's going to take up the task right now and they're all going to follow him because you can clearly see that like he can be a leader among his people. Um, but that didn't happen. Uh, but it's also like EO is kind of giving the Sam of Aylin's story.
Mm.
And I kept thinking like throughout, and this might just be how I felt with Mustang, but I kept kind of thinking like I'm too attached to EO and it's holding me back.
From the Mustang romance type thing.
Yeah, and just like any kind of like trust in her. And I like there was just a piece, it was like a piece of Darrow that I was like, this isn't gone. And that was hard to like, it was hard for me to like suss out my feelings. So obviously
I
it's gonna
love
be hard
that
for
because
him.
yeah, because that means it's a good
Yeah.
writing in that sense because it's like the fact that we were only with this character for maybe a few pages at most, and it's something that it we felt the entire because I agree with you that we felt the entire time that it's a battle, then of course Darrow's gonna feel that. So we're feeling what Darrow's feeling in that and not wanting to let her go either, but there's also this reality that like Eo's dead. Like Eo is dead and we have to learn from that and I love the writing of her. I love the use of song. I
Mm,
like how the song is the use of the rebellion, and I also love how words is also used in this. Like the fact that like bloody damn is like such a
mm,
thing that might be able to
mm-hmm,
like unravel his entire thing just because of choice of language. Like I thought that was
mm-hmm,
beautiful.
mm-hmm,
Um, and just like shows the power of words and the power of music and because I think I don't think I've ever said this to you but I've said in life like what is like if someone asks like what is the one thing that I don't think humanity could live without I would say it's music because I
mm,
think so much of storytelling like I people can say books storytelling but so much of storytelling is song is told through song and original
mm,
storytelling is told through song
mm,
and there's a power to it and the power that comes over the people with it and it's used so much in this book and I love that aspect that it is because that's if you go back to the dawn of time with humanity, like it's song. And so I'm starting a tangent that I'm forgetting where I started. But with EO, like I agree, like her power was felt. And it like
mm.
I remember at one point you even were like, I was hoping that like some
Oh,
other character was EO reincarnated or like
yeah,
reincarnated like in this thing.
yeah.
And I was like, I don't know, but it did make me question if EO knew what was going to happen with Darrow, like if she knew about
Oh,
the suns and all these things, or if
I
it's
don't
just
think
something that
so.
she believed in and she was going to go for it, um, and to see what she made. Yeah, I don't think so either. I don't think she knew, but I think she was strong-willed and she wanted to stand up for what she believed in.
Hmm. I mean, when you think about it, like it is very powerful that she like took that leap and like knew enough and hoped enough and did that because I don't think a lot of people would be strong enough to do that, you know?
Especially if like
So,
with Darrow's perspective, and it's like he saw his dad do this already, and he was like, it does nothing. Like it's achieved
right.
nothing. The only thing I think he even says that, like the only thing it does was left his mother without her father or her husband. So
Yeah.
it's like there is that mindset of it. It's like, but then it's the thought of like if everyone has that mindset that nothing will work, then nothing ever will get done, no change will ever be found. So there has to be the one
Mm,
that comes to fight. And who's it gonna
hmm
be? And that's why we love
hmm
dystopians. In a nutshell. But yeah, I also loved that she was then framed by the gold and everyone else as this Persephone of
Mm,
song. And
hmm
Persephone being this bringing of a new spring, bringing of a new season that from the darkness she will essentially rise is
hmm
like that's great for later on. Like I'm assuming so much will change for Darrow and you're right, it is hard to let her go with the introduction of Mustang. So like I appreciated that like the romance wasn't pushed too hard.
Yeah.
Like I
Yeah.
like it really wasn't ready for that and I don't know how much I will be going forward. But like
Yeah.
and but it definitely creates conflict. I understand the need of it
Mm,
because it creates
hmm
conflict in Darrow's head. and in his
Hmm.
character, but it also creates conflict with the whole entire rebellion of it all. Like if she does
Hmm.
fall in love with him, and then we find out where she lands Mustang specifically in the class rank and how high up she is, and if there's something that will I mean, Darrow bows us the entire book. What will stand in his way from achieving his goal? Is it nothing? Does he not
Hmm.
care about what stands in his way? What he will he go through to achieve that goal? And it brings back to my, thing that I love about dystopian and sci-fi books of measuring intentions versus your actions. And are your
Hmm.
actions justified because of your intentions? Or are
Hmm.
you like which one are you weighed more on? Are you weighed more on your actions? Or are you weighed more on your intentions? And for Darrow, his intentions is to free the Reds. So does that mean that every action he does is then justified? Not
Hmm.
necessarily. Like if you're murdering
Hmm.
people, does that always justify the to the means to the end? So like
Hmm.
adding in a love story on that will make things even more complicated for him and
Hmm.
for Mustang. So I understand the need for it. I like
Hmm.
it. It's just it was
Hmm.
going to take me a bit to get there.
I agree.
So.
Yeah, but you're totally right. Like he's presenting all of the right things, all of the right challenges uh to
And that's
get
why I said this
there.
could be a six-book series. I see that. I'm like, Lee, this is so many questions and so
Mm.
many he's tackling so many issues in one book. So I'm like, yeah, maybe he could have done it in three. Maybe six is a lot, but
Yeah. We'll see.
we'll see.
Um yeah. I also like the like representation of flowers and
Hmm.
specifically like the one he has for Ego, like that really comes back around. And I think that's
Persephone.
also, yeah, it's a show of like culture too, which I think is important, especially to Darrow and to the Reds, that they like remain true to that. And even like it's like the simple things like their flowers or whatever, and he really like grapples with that later on when he's like he wants to give it to Mustang and then he doesn't. And it's like he has like a whole inner monologue about like giving his heart and he's so glad that he didn't do that just yet. And I thought that was really great, especially like in a first book and like truly it's like I don't know 80% of the way through. So it's not this isn't fluffy. Like this book is not like it's definitely thought out and it's definitely like he's a planner in the truest sense of the word. Like I truly believe that. So that was also nice and refreshing, and I can
It
give
was.
him props to that for sure. For sure.
What do you think of the whole having to kill someone to enter the trial? Wasn't that insane?
That was pretty brutal.
Yeah, it
Pretty,
was.
especially like you think about how this is their like they call it school. Like,
Hmm.
and I think one
And
of
the
the
beginning of
things,
school. They don't graduate after
yeah,
this. This is the
no.
beginning of school.
And I think one of the things like I thought about was like how much do they know? You know, like
Mm.
as kids, what are they taught? Like like and is it always like challenges like this, like to the death? And like do they not ask questions when people don't come home or do they just not know what happens to them? It's messy. And yeah,
It
the
is.
first one, the first how about the what was his name? Primer or whatever? The like the biggest,
Primus?
baddest. No, the one that like got killed and they didn't know who killed him.
Oh, and then
But
ended up being
he
several.
was it
Several
several?
killed him.
Yeah,
Yeah,
okay.
it was several who killed
Um,
him.
I thought that
I'm gonna
was
double check that, but I think it's several
I
who killed
think
him.
you're right. I think you're right. Because it was who was it? Titus who claimed that he did.
Titus claimed he did, yeah.
But he didn't.
Yeah, Priam, and several killed him by crushing his trachea,
Okay. Um, like the
which I was
fact
like,
that, I mean,
yes,
yeah,
several.
but the fact that you know, the number one was killed was just kind of, and like now we know that like Finchner, like what did he think? Like his son was in there with, top dog, and he comes out wild.
I did love that in the sense of like the person they thought was the best and the person they thought was the worst, and the person that was
Mm.
the worst one, the scrappier one won. And that
Hmm.
is very true. But
Yeah.
yeah, I thought it was insane. Like I was like, already we're starting off wild. We're starting off with like the most impossible moral dilemma for Darrow on top of that because like he's like, what the F? I have to kill someone. And then he's
I've never
killing this
killed
guy's
anyone.
brother on top of
Hmm.
it that he has to then work with and then
Hmm.
becomes his best friend and has to lie to
Hmm.
him the entire time that he didn't kill his freaking brother. That was just that like that went into so much like stakes. Like it raised the stakes even more throughout as you're going through this whole like the beginning part. Because I feel like it does feel like they were like in three different parts in this whole trial. Like there was
Hmm.
the beginning where there's, they were like trying to get the House of Mars together and everyone was like all split up and blah blah blah. No one was listening to each other. And then there was when Darrow, was forced to leave because what is this guy's name?
Cass
Cassius?
Cassius.
Cassius.
Yeah.
Cassius found out about everything. And then there was the whole then there was like the third act where it was just like he finds Mustang again and they come together and make their army and defeat everyone. So like it really was like a whole novel, obviously. But it was like a whole three parts in that sense. And I think it just brought so much more stakes to the beginning where they are just like figuring things out and they're just like, yeah, like you said, going from castle, conquering slaves, the castle of Mars is all split up, but there's this underlying thing that is like, okay, Darrow, like, and then I loved how like it was Severo, well, Severo wasn't there yet, he was away, but it was the poet and
Oh, Roke. Yeah.
yeah, and like the others that are like, okay, Darrow, you need to step up. And
Mm.
Darrow's like, what do you mean? And they're like they all see it in him that he's supposed to be the leader of them all. And that's interesting to me for a group of gold where all of them want to be a leader and all of them think they're the shit. For them to see it,
Hmm.
it's like I think that's why I wrote in my review how each one gives you a whole new moral dilemma for each character.
Mm.
And Roku
Hmm.
was a great character to do that. Like he brought up so many he was so smart in bringing up like during it, like, oh yeah, their proctors are making us do this because of this, this, and this. Like they're
Hmm.
testing you on this, so you need to stop failing the test and go through with it.
Hmm.
And
Yeah.
I think that's what Darrow needed because like he couldn't figure everything out.
No. No, but I think I was still like, why? I don't know. It just fell into the like, of course he's gonna be the one that they all see as the leader. Like, I don't know.
He's our main character.
I know. I think I just there's a golden boy mentality that I'm not sold on.
Well, he
Uh,
is the golden boy, literally.
he is. I was kind of freaked out when they were like describing like his transformation.
Oh my God, yeah, it was gross.
I was like, oh, he's like really becoming something else.
Hmm.
That's wild.
I was like, wow, when he eventually, because I'm gonna predict that he eventually goes back to the Reds. Like, if he sees his family again, are they even gonna
Very
see him in
nice.
it?
Yeah.
Like, are they even gonna see him in it? Is there like I see it in your eyes, but his eyes are different. Like everything is different.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Someone has to.
Yeah.
Who's it gonna be?
His uncle. It's gonna be his uncle.
Probably.
He's gonna dance, and his uncle's gonna be like, "Yeah, that's Darrow." Like I'm telling you right now, that's gonna be what's happening.
Uh, yeah.
I think the thing that got me, I was a little confused about was when they finally went to Olympus and there was all the fighting happening. I don't know if
Mm.
it was just the way that it was described or I had to just keep rereading, but I was just like, what is happening? I was like, wait, where are we? What? We've been
Yeah.
where? With who?
With
Like
who?
I was very confused. And then they were
Yeah.
killing like the proctors who were quote unquote gods, whatever.
Mm.
Um, and I was just, yeah, that one made me a little lost in the
Yeah.
sauce.
That one, yeah, it kind of veered. Like there was one proctor, I want to say it was Mercury, but I'm not positive. The one who was just like slicing through people.
Oh
like
yeah.
willy-nilly, as if like they'd been waiting for this and they just wanted their chance. I was like, is this necessary? Like I get it. Like they're showing the different evils of being gold, but it was a lot.
Yeah, and it's also like dismantling this whole like you versus them thing and like the glass being shattered. Because they talk about a
Hmm.
lot throughout the book of like the characters that did remind everyone like, this is just one part A of school. And B, this doesn't determine the rest of your schooling and like afterwards. Like we have to like then go home after this. But
Right.
because you're in this like intense environment where like a lot of people were starting to believe like this is real, like this is their life.
Hmm.
They live in this
Hmm.
war zone, they live in it, like their mentality
Hmm.
really changes and like there was the characters that could come out of it and be like, no, like this is not real, guys. Like it's real, but it's not real. Like don't forget we have to go back to like civilized society after this and like be normal. And then I think
Yeah.
Daryl even quotes on it, like whoever was in power, how do they just go back to their normal lives after this? Like how do
Hmm.
you do that? And then you're like perfectly fine, even though like all these people just died in front of you and a lot of them starved or and didn't they hint at the Jackals people cannibalism too?
Yeah. Yeah. And like that was wild too because the jackal, he he very much knew, right? Because he's the governor or whoever's son. So he knows that he has power outside of this, but
Mm-hmm.
he's
And they
still
won't let him die
doing
as well.
right, and he's still doing unspeakable things. Like that was jarring. And but I did think it was interesting, like I think it's Finchner says, uh, there's something different in his eyes and in Darrow's eyes. And like Darrow obviously like clues in when the jackal, like his reaction to being like pinned to the table lasts like 2 seconds and then he's like calm again. He's like, this is not a normal person. Tread lightly.
Hmm. Oh my God, yeah,
Um,
the cutting his hand off.
oh my God. Yeah.
I hope you weren't driving for that one.
No, I sure was.
Great, 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 great. Yeah, that was very intense and very powerful. It just shows the intensity of stuff. I knew that was gonna happen too. They like Daryl was like testing it. I'm like, this man is crazy.
Mm,
He's gonna chop his arm off. What can he do with an
hmm
arm? He doesn't need his arm. And then he does it. And I'm like, see, it's crazy. And
He
that's what
does
happens
it.
to you when you're in power like that. You go crazy. Oh my gosh.
I think that brings me around to thoughts on Mustang. Um,
Oh yeah, Mustang.
so, because
Discuss that.
she, in the beginning, she had some thoughts about the situation. And she was kind of like, how can this be? Like, da da da, like, this is supposed to be school. Like, because she nicknames him the Reaper, right?
I think so.
Him as in Darrow. Uh, and I really felt that she was saying, like, Darrow was being, like, overly, you know, violent and, like, things like that. And I definitely had a moment where I thought that she was being naive. Um, and it it was like a Hermione like moment where I was like, it's not as like cookie cutter as you think it is.
Hmm.
And now I'm like going back because if she's the governor's daughter, like was she just playing that? Like what did she
Hmm.
know? Or does she really like expect there to be more? Like, did she really expect more of the proctors and like more like fairness, I guess?
Yeah, and then that goes back to what
Um,
you said, like they how much or did they really know? How much are they told in
right.
this fake society, in that sense? And yeah, because I could believe both. I could believe that it's her being naive in that sense. And because she's
Hmm.
I think she's like one of the characters that has hope, honestly.
Hmm.
Um, and
Hmm.
like we're gonna like I think we could definitely see her like going to Darrow's rebellion side in that. Like I think there is a possibility of that. And seeing through, maybe. I mean, that's a hopeful from what we've seen. It maybe she can see through all these lies and seeing like there is something wrong with our society. But
Mm.
yeah, there could be that she is also playing us and playing him. And I wasn't. Were you mad about Daryl like doubting her, or did you think that was valid? Like that she was not going to come back with the jackal and that he was
Oh,
betrayed then?
I thought she was gonna betray him anyways.
Mm.
I didn't know who she was. Um,
Wow, so not even knowing who she was, you were like, she's gonna betray him.
yeah. And that was
Okay.
partially because like Fincher was like hinting at a lot. And the way
Mm.
she kept being like the cheater be cheated thing. And this author he does like foreshadow a lot and he'll like drop things and it'll
Mm.
be like when he realized who the jackal was, like Darrow says like, "Oh, like I recognize like something in his golden hair." And I was like, "Okay, so that's the jackal." Like so it's just
Got
like
it.
moments like that where I was kind of like cluing in and I thought, I don't know, I just thought and I maybe because I wasn't sold on Mustang, I was like, yeah, betray him, like see what happens.
And then she doesn't. In the end, she does not betray him.
She doesn't. No.
But I think
Yet.
Dara was valid in that. Like they were living in fight
Yeah.
and flight for so long. I was like, no, you're valid for thinking that she's probably gonna betray you. That's her brother. But then ends up she hates her brother. So no.
Yeah. Yeah.
I
I
don't know.
like I he handled it well too because she had told the story about the one brother she lost and that was
Hmm.
true. So like I thought that was good that that like held up. Um but yeah, there's a lots of twists and turns. Were you surprised with the ending with his allegiance?
No, I think it's definitely the keep your enemies close, like keep your friends
Mm.
close, but your enemies closer. Like that.
Hmm.
That made 100. Like that made sense to me. Like whatever he's trying to like his Darrow's main goal is to take down this entire society. So like
Yeah.
of course, like if this is the guy that's offering you the job, take the freaking job. Like that was not surprising to me at all. Um, and I think it's hard though, because like how is he gonna now he has to really rein in a lot of his rage and a lot of his
Hmm.
inner turmoil on that and too and it's just like and that's what we'll see in this journey of Darrow is the right person to do all this it's not an easy thing to do like and we want to make sure that Darrow also keeps himself in check and
Hmm.
Darrow doesn't go away from like I said like is his actions justified for what the means is to the end so this is where he really gets put to the test now with that. Because, like, yes, he was in this high intense trial where he had that many tested, but now this is going to be like a different trial in its sense that you're going to be in a very high intense situation where they're cutthroating you and they're killing you, but they're not being savages about it. They're
Hmm.
still doing it.
Right.
Doesn't mean they're not doing it.
Right. And he really hasn't been in society with
Mm-hmm.
golds. So it's going to be very different and I think very difficult for him.
Where
Um,
do you think his relationship with Cassius is going to go?
I was like, damn, Cassius, like, chill out. Like, when he did, like, the blood feud thing, I was like, bro, a lot of
Like
people
when,
died.
yeah, yeah. Avenge your brother, though. Avenge your brother.
I was like, I think you need to calm down a little. I think he's gonna go a little cuckoo, um, but cause some problems.
Hmm.
So,
Do you think he'll become like Darrow's antithesis or Darrow's like anti-villain throughout this thing, or is he gonna fold to Darrow?
mm,
Like, are they really brothers? Are they best friends? Like, you know what I mean? Like, what's
what's the
gonna
story?
happen with the two of them, I think.
I
And
like
is
the
this something that,
idea.
yeah, like,
Mm,
is he gonna realize like this wasn't Darrow's? Yes, Darrow gave the killing blow, but this wasn't Darrow's intentions nor his
right.
choice in the matter. Like, they all didn't have a
Yeah.
choice.
Yeah.
But it's
I
the
like
lying that gets to him. So,
I like the idea of him being like the anti, but I can also see him just being like a pest, this annoying, like, you wronged me that keeps popping up. And Darrow has to be like, I'm sorry. Like, can you, like, I'm doing other things right now.
Can we move on? I'm trying to dismantle entire society. I don't think this is really
It's
my
not
priority.
important. Like, yeah, this happened months ago. Like, get over it. No.
Everyone died.
Um, but I think doing the blood feud has got to mean something a little more serious. So I think we'll
Yeah,
we'll
because
be seeing
Darrow ends up
him.
taking the job. The governor's family is like the opposite family that's feuding with Cassie's family, right?
Hmm.
Okay, so then yeah, there's a lot of
Yeah.
hard
Yeah.
times. Yeah, that's another thing we're gonna have to learn more about in the next books, or I'm assuming is like all these feuds within the Golds themselves. Because they touch
Hmm.
on it a lot, but it's like it's not touched on as much as you think in terms of like throughout the trial. Like I was like, oh, maybe they'll do that without a trial where like one person's like, like a Romeo and Juliet thing, like I'm on this side, you're on
Mm.
this side. But no, it was
Hmm.
really like they went by their rankings, which I thought were interesting too. And also
Mm.
I was like kind of like trying to follow and I was like, wait, what are they? Oh, okay. Like the mids and the whatever, like all the rankings in it. So I
Hmm.
thought that was
Hmm.
interesting. That like it was stripped away in that sense. Um, but not now. Why don't we get back into society, Daryl?
Mm. Yeah. And he's supposed to be like a lone wolf, you know? I
That's why I'm
liked,
like, is there no connections that are gonna be made when he's back in society? Is because no one will know his family. How many golds
right?
exist? I think I need like that. Like, how big is this gold society? Like, they're making
Yeah.
it sound like it's very big. Like, this is
Hmm.
like an entire like planet of golds, essentially,
Yeah.
which I guess it
And like,
is.
and some of them still have connections to Earth. Like one girl
Mm.
said her family was like in New Zealand or something, and I was like, what? That's, I think that's a unique, like planting us in time kind of thing, you know?
Mm.
Um, but also like, are we ever gonna know more about Titus and
I was just about to bring up Titus. Great transition.
that the red of it all there?
Yeah, what an interesting subplot that we had to deal with
Mm-hmm.
Darrow and Titus. And like Titus was very gross and,
Mm.
raping women and something really sad and something really heartbreaking. And the moment that Darrow realized it, I think I got emotional. I don't know if I got like emotional, like I was crying, but I was just like jaw
Yeah.
dropped. It's like, yeah, like not everyone it was an example to him of how rage can like literally you could see red and you're getting past the goal of what you're trying to do. You have to balance the rage and the cunningness to get to achieve the goal of dismantling the society. But it's like, yeah, who put Titus in this? Where did he come
Right.
from?
Right.
Like,
How did he get there?
mm-hmm.
Because
And
it
what strayed
almost
him away from his goal?
right. Well, yeah, it almost felt like he got there on his own, but like how is that possible when Darrow had to do so much? So I'm like,
Maybe it's just the
oh,
power of Reds. People, the intensity of Reds
maybe.
makes them want to, people around them want to feel like the gold want to
Yeah.
feel like they should, which is actually kind of ironic if you think about it, because in the actual society, the golds are the ones ruling the Reds. But a situation where the golds don't know this person is a Red, they then go to the Red to see them as the leader, which is like,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So yeah, are we
yeah,
gonna
that was
find out
sad
that
though.
it was sad? Are we gonna find that they all started as Reds? You know?
And one went off. Yeah, and I do you what did you think of the whole like bringing justice by killing him? Like, you thought that was necessary? Was there another way that he could have done this? Just making him a slave? Like, what was your thoughts?
It was a very, like, you felt what Darrow was feeling again. You were like, I don't know what to do in this situation. And he was very much like, like, it needs to be justice, but like, I also need to make a statement here. and like keep my friends close.
Hmm.
So that one was tough. Um,
How do you make the wrong statement too? Because I think Mustang and others judged him on the what he ended up doing as
right,
well.
right. And he really thought he made a mistake too. Like he didn't like so it was I don't know, like it really like is one of those things where it like felt like real life, you know, it didn't feel like a book where it's
It was
like,
what was
wait,
the ultimate crossroad for Darrow.
yeah, yeah. So like props to him for that too. Um, and then oh, it comes around again where he's like, I can't make the same mistake. Who is that with? Is that with the jackal?
Possibly, I think so.
Because he was like, I can't, I think, yeah. And he's like, I can't let him go. Even though he said, like, if you can get out of this, like, you're free.
Yeah.
Little did he know. Um, Crazy.
I do like when we were reading it with two other friends, one of them mentioned to us that like they felt the golds and their mentality reminded them of the careers in the Hunger Games.
Hmm.
And I was like, yeah, 'cause we talk about that on here. We've talked about it a lot in person, how we're like dying for a career book from Suzanne because it's like it's such an interesting mindset of this being essentially like drugged and given this fake story and believing it to a certain extent, so much so that you would kill for it.
Yeah.
So it's the same with the gold and that, and that goes back to harping on what you said earlier, is like how much do they really know? So like it was a great perspective to see it like that too, because the author was also having you grapple with all the different careers question, like quote unquote, if they're all seen as careers that had different personalities. Because like we fell in love with Rogue and we fell in love with Severo and we're like okay with Mustang, but these are people that are still a
Not
part of the society
right.
that is
Right.
hurting Darrow's people. It's like
Hmm.
how do you grapple with that?
Hmm.
It's the same thing of in Ballast Songbirds of Snakes with Sejanus.
Like Pax, right? Like Pax started out and he was awful. He was so
Yes.
awful. And then like Daryl wins him over and
Mm-hmm.
won him over for us too. And then when he gets killed, like I saw your
Heartbreaking.
comments, it was brutal. And you were just like, no. And like the fact that he like put himself in front of Darrow and like was the ultimate sacrifice to save Darrow is just like wild. And like I kept thinking like is Darrow really friends with these people? Like how is he like going through those emotions? 'Cause like the truth is like yeah, he's getting to know them like on their very basic level, not like their societal level.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, like what you're saying when we get in back into society, like what will that look like?
Well,
And I
Daryl also questions that a lot too. He's like, not wanting to like these people, not wanting to be friends with them, not wanting to call them brother and to feel this
right.
connection to them because at the end of the
Hmm.
day, like they are just people and it's separating that and like what they represent and who they are. And that is just a hard, and is he their friend or is he using them to meet an end? And the answer might be it's both. Like he
Hmm.
can form these connections to them and feel this love to them, but then also feel like I am still gonna like he has to betray all. In the end, he needs to betray all of them. Like that
Hmm.
will happen no matter what. So he has to grapple with that and make that decision, and that's not an easy decision to make. And that's why I'm so
Hmm.
excited for the rest of the series.
I just hope like Severo is his little bestie forever.
I think so. I think so.
I think
I
so
think
too.
like when Sappho finds out he's a red, he's gonna be like, okay, let's fucking fuck this shit up.
Yeah,
He'll be like, that's great. I'm so ready for it.
I'm
Which
so
might be
ready.
what you're saying with his father. Like his father might have the
Hmm.
same mentality.
Hmm. Or maybe he has to convince his father, use
True.
him. I could see that too. He's a little ruthless.
Hmm.
So, so yeah, he definitely We got a great cast of characters. We
We
saw
did.
all
We
kinds
did.
of roller coaster emotions and like decisions to be made. And um, I thought it was great to like really put yourself in their shoes and you got to think about like what would you do kind of thing,
Mhm.
which we talk about a lot with the Hunger Games. So
There's a lot of moral
that,
questions brought up in this, and you know I love that in a book. I was eating it up. And I just I can't wait to continue. Which we're gonna continue. We are gonna continue.
yeah. Yeah. I don't really, our schedule is a
Oh,
little
with this one too,
flip-floppy,
we've been
but
waiting for like the Audible credits or Libby. Like,
that's true.
it's like one
Yeah.
of those things that we're like, we're reading it actively, but we're not. Also, the sucky thing is because we did the graphic audio, they have each book in two parts, and you have to pay for each book. So it's like you're paying $15 per part to make the book
Yeah.
$30, which is true. If you bought the hardcover is 30. So like there's like we're reading it, but reading it slowly in that sense of like, okay, well, like
Yeah.
let's buy this part. Yeah, so but definitely going to continue. And we will continue with the reviews on this podcast for it as well.
We
Always.
sure will. Yep. On our fantasy and dystopian
Again,
podcast.
we are true to our name, okay? But if you want to join along in the rest of our reads, like we said, we are not reading this with our full book club right now. We did offer it to them and they did not pick it up. So probably gonna continue it on our own. But if you want to read the other books we're reading with us, join us on Fable. You can find us. Our name is Mystic Scales and Fae Tales Podcast. But if you look up Fae Tales, it also comes up right away. We have two. We have like our main one, and then we have a side quest one where we read other books of them, like one-offs and things like that.
Mm,
And then follow us on Instagram and TikTok as well to like chat with us, join a community, all that stuff, all that fun things. And
see
we
what we're
hope
up
that
to.
you literally hope that you dive into Red Rising and continue the series with us. And happy reading.
Happy reading.